All right. Good evening, y'all. Good day. So today I want to talk about change, courage, and change. I was listening to a talk today with Myleik Teal on Om Noir on Instagram, on their Instagram. And Myleik, she said something about the courage that she has. She has the courage to, I'm not quoting this properly, but she said, I have the courage to walk away, the courage to leave things if I'm not feeling it anymore, the courage to, move around. And that really resonated with me. My phone's ringing. That really resonated with me because a lot of times and when I say we, I could be speaking to we as women, we as Black women, we as mothers, we as parents, we as people who are dedicated or committed to, who have responsibilities, right, beyond ourselves. And so for me, like I would say there might have been a lot of things like that. I have places that I have maybe stayed at a little too long, or longer than I wanted to or should have. Not places necessarily, sometimes places, sometimes things, sometimes relationships, friendships, partnerships with people that were no longer, that I knew that I didn't want to be in anymore, that it was time for me to move around, but for whatever reason I felt like, oh, I need to stay because I'm committed. I need to stay so that I don't prove to the person, to whoever, that I'm gonna leave, right? And she said, as soon as you start questioning whether or not you should be there, then it's probably 99% of the time for you to move around, time for you to go. And I thought that was very powerful, because a lot of times I feel like when we do stay, it's not for ourselves. And then if we're staying for some reason or some whatever beyond ourselves, then I just wonder, then who are we taking care of if we're not taking care of ourselves? And are we our best selves if we are staying when we shouldn't be, when we know we don't want to be? I recall when I left my career, my job that I used to have, and it took me a good 8 months. It took me 8 months to leave, probably from the first time that I thought, I don't want to be here anymore. And probably, if I'm being honest with myself, I think I knew like within the first 90 days that it wasn't a long-term plan for me. But I stayed for 2.5 years because it was a means to an end. But I did leave sooner than I planned on leaving, because a friend of mine said, if you know that you don't want to be here anymore, then set a date for yourself and just make sure that you get out of there by then. For me, the date was December the 31st, and I ended up leaving the first week of June that year. But I think about my friendships, my relationships, the ones that I question, and I'm like, what am I staying for? Am I waiting for change? But if the patterns and the habits are showing me something different, then it's like, who am I really serving here? Not myself. I'm putting myself second. I'm putting myself last on the list. I'm not taking care of myself, because again, if I'm staying somewhere or in something that I shouldn't be in, is not serving me, then I'm really hurting myself in the long run. I'm also devaluing myself, my worth. Because if it makes me feel unhappy, if I don't feel valued or appreciated or considered or thought of or seen, then why on earth am I spending time and energy, resources there, when I know that I'm of better service elsewhere, and more fulfilled elsewhere? So it's just a thought, and it really resonated with me when I was listening to that podcast. It was on Instagram Live on OM Noir, NOIRE, and it was Myleik Teal, owner founder of Crowbox, who was being interviewed about that. So that's my time. Thanks, y'all. Good night.